We're leaving the country.
Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
And we are on our first Princess cruise.
We arrived in Fort Lauderdale after a flight from San Diego for an 8-day trip to the Caribbean on the Regal Princess.
We're Rich and Robin,
And these are our midlife adventures.
living in and out of our midlife van.
When we woke up before our flight from San Diego to Florida, our app said,
Our app said our
Diverted.
flight is diverted. So instead of a nonstop from San Diego to Fort Lauderdale, it showed San Diego to Phoenix.
And that was it.
No second, well, let's add another flight or anything. It's just diverted. We kind of freaked out a little bit. We just woke up and we're like, okay, well, what if?
Half
you know?
awake.
And we know all the flight situations are really bad. So
The holiday season was horrible with flights, so we started to get a little worried. We headed to the airport and called Alaska.
And they said, don't worry about it.
We are in the San Diego airport.
San Diego Airport, which is always fun. It's always less stressful than LAX,
And
but
so,
not as good as Ontario.
so we're here in San Diego and we are at the airport trying to find the Premier Lounge.
The Premier Lounge.
So this will be our first lounge
First
with
time
our
using it.
American Express card, using our travel hacks from Car and Eight.
Yeah.
See if we can find it. The Premier Lounge is somewhere between gate 23 and 32, and we can't find it on the map. Airline Club. We are in San Diego,
San Diego Airport.
and we're our first lounge visit
Yeah.
of 2023 with
with a
our American
priority?
Express Priority Pass.
Priority Pass, and so this is the Aspire lounge, and so far it's pretty cool. They have free mimosas this morning.
Yep, and some breakfast.
Yeah.
So we are flying to Fort Lauderdale today.
Yeah. So our original plan when we booked our cruise was to try to fly nonstop to Fort Lauderdale the night before, so that way we wouldn't stress out for the cruise. So we had a nonstop flight out of San Diego on Alaska to Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
This morning,
We woke up.
and the Alaska app says that it is diverted, and so
Our
it
flight's
only
diverted
shows,
and we're not even on it.
So it shows San Diego to Phoenix,
yeah.
and that's it.
And then it just shows
landing at
nowhere.
12:55,
Yeah.
and that's it. No talk about Fort Lauderdale after that. So, of course, we're freaking out, trying to figure out,
Yeah.
what should we do? So I
But
jumped
yet-
on.
yeah,
I
but-
booked an American flight just in case as a backup
Right.
plan for tonight.
Even though FlightAware did show our flight going all the way to Fort Lauderdale.
Right, but
With no
didn't-
delay.
With no delay, is
So
where we
that's
know there's going to be
weird.
a
Yeah.
delay since it's diverted.
So on our way to the airport, we gave Alaska a call, and
They explained to us that
Yeah.
I guess there's a pipeline at San Diego Airport that is ruptured.
Or
And
leaking or something, they
right.
said,
And
yeah.
so then they turn that off, and now they're just trucking fuel in,
Yeah.
and they don't want to use so much fuel. So what they're deciding on some flights is to fly a short distance to a nearby airport,
Refuel.
Phoenix, refuel, and then make it all the way there. So according to our gate agent, they said it's going to be like an hour delay getting into Fort Lauderdale,
Which is plenty of time
no
for
problem,
us.
because we're spending
Yeah.
the night. So
but only time will tell. This has been a crazy holiday season, and we will
yeah.
see.
But so far, we're looking like we're going to be okay.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Go.
So we took off from San Diego.
A little late, not bad.
Yeah,
I think it was like 10 minutes,
yeah,
maybe.
but not bad at all. And then we flew into Phoenix and didn't have to go to a gate. They stopped in the middle, kind of normally
Near a
I'm
gate.
used to. They wouldn't let us off. They then fueled up, and probably about an hour.
I think it was a little less than an hour, maybe, but everyone got up to use the restroom. I don't know why they didn't use the restroom in flight or before they got on the flight. Once they closed the door and we were headed for the runway, the pilot announced that we had another little delay.
And the way I interpret it, I think I had my headphones on at first, then I take them off, started listening. So maybe I missed the first part, but it sounded like we have a major issue, and we're going to have to wait it out a little bit. And so to me, I'm like, oh man. And they talked about...
And so what the captain said was, in South Florida, the system they use for air traffic control went down, and all flights were grounded. They couldn't take off or land in South Florida, including Fort Lauderdale. And it was back up and running, but there was a backup in landings, so we had to wait to get a position to take off to have a landing time.
But it turned out it wasn't a major problem. So I think the total delay was probably about an hour and a half.
Hour 45, I think.
Yeah, so less than 2 hours. But the good news is we got there. And the good news is we actually did book it, to have, the night before, get a hotel room so we wouldn't be stressing on cruise day. Worked out.
It worked out good. In researching, we decided we wanted to have an early boarding just so we can get a lay of the land a little bit and have lunch on board. So we picked an 11 to 11:30 time spot. We pre-checked in on the app, uploaded all our documentation.
Passports, did the whole questionnaire.
Our photo.
Yeah, photo.
And so we had a QR code, and so we called an Uber.
Yeah, called an Uber.
It looked like Terminal 2,
yeah,
so we
looked at
Uber,
Google Maps.
Yeah.
Google Maps clearly identified the different terminals and
there
where
was,
Princess
and even
was.
Princess had an address.
But then if you're on Google Maps, it says permanently closed.
Right.
Which is like, ooh.
And if you put that address in, then we were going to go through some security for like a different kind of port, not a public port. So thankfully, our Uber driver
was really good.
So he dropped us off. We were debating back and forth about checking in our luggage. We decided we were kind of encouraged by some of the staff. Oh, you don't have much, just carry it on.
Once again, you get conflicting information.
But,
you have all the porters down there that want to take your bags.
Right.
And I think they want to take your bags. Of course, they're doing it for a tip, but they also want to try to get it all on the boat. Because
you don't know when your room's going to be ready. And another cruise that we were on in the Mediterranean, it takes a while for all that luggage to get to your room.
Yes.
So depending on if you want stuff in your luggage or not. So since we didn't have a lot, we came on board with our QR code. First we went through security with the X-ray, which was like 3 couples in front of us, if even.
We had the green line, right? It was a green line
green
because we, like we mentioned before, we uploaded all of our documents, we took the photo and stuff like that. All that was really easy and simple on the app. So it's like, why not do that?
So it saved us a lot of time. So everyone had to go through security, so that line was short enough. But then once we were through security, there was 2 lines. And I still think we were in the elite green line.
I think
but
that went over to the right.
So anyways, the line, if you didn't have your medallion shipped to you, which we did,
was very long.
Was really long. So we were able to check in with the girl, answer a couple quick health questions, and she was like, okay, you can board. And that was like
really quick.
Less than 5 minutes.
We're like, what probably took the longest was trying to get around the line for the medallion people to try to get on board.
The maze of trail and we're like, well, where do we get on board?
You don't have your medallion. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay, straight, non-stop.
Where is the ship?
They're going to need it at the door.
Non-stop. Mike, where is the ship? That's the question. Boarding this way. There's a sign, Rich. Boarding this way. Where's your captain's hat? Thank you. so once we got on board, we wanted to go to lunch, but we had our luggage, so we're like, oh, let's check our room. So sure enough, our room was ready. Within a half hour of boarding, it was noon, right before, it was even before noon. It was right before noon. Yeah. And then as soon as we got done going to our room, dropping off our luggage and checking out the room, we were in there maybe 20 minutes, and then they made the announcement that all rooms were ready. Yeah. So,
but they weren't even. I think they were ready, but you can still see they're still bringing on some of the baggage.
Well, your baggage wasn't ready.
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't get your baggage until late in the afternoon.
It depends, because they put them in cages. But your room is ready
to go and sit in your room or drop off. By carrying on our luggage, we not only were unpacked, we were unpacked totally in our room after lunch before a lot of people even got their luggage. So it saved us some time and stress, and then we were able to go explore the ship, and we had a great embarkment day.
Yeah, it was pretty stress-free, and then it gave us just that little extra time to kind of explore the lay of not the land, but the lay of the boat. To try to see where everything is and get our bearings straight.
On our embarkment day, we went to lunch in the dining room. It's kind of one of the things I had seen online, like that was a good thing to do your first day, and we're glad we did that, because we sat down and had a great waiter right away and met the couple next to us that was doing back-to-back cruises on the boat.
Talked to them a little bit.
And so after having a great lunch, and she had ordered off menu, and I saw what she had and I wanted it, and it wasn't on the menu, so then I ordered off menu.
And with the last 2 nights?
So that was a nice experience to be able to get that connection with the waiter. He was very accommodating, and so we're like, okay, so where are you tonight? What dining room are you? So we switched our evening dining to his table.
Robin, let's go explore.
Let's go explore the ship.
Robin! And there's you threw your briefcase away. And you need a drink. I can see the lifeboat below you, Robin.
Yeah. We're moving. We are headed out.
So it's the sheriff's job to escort all the big boats out, get all the little boats away. excuse when I run you over. People waving down there. People are holding up a princess banner.
Then we have 2 days at sea, and then we'll be at St. Kitts on Friday. Yeah, at St. Kitts.
There you go, scuba diving.
Let's go scuba diving.
Goodbye, Fort Lauderdale.
Goodbye, mainland U.S.
We're leaving the country.
We actually are leaving the country right now.
Join us on our next video as we show you around the Regal Princess and give a tour of our deluxe balcony room.